Everyone, it is poetry and yapping time. I am looking like a hot mess. I am exhausted. So this is the best that I could do today. I've just come back from my mom's at dinner. And yes, I'm in my car. It is hot. Let me turn down to get some air. Okay, so let me start with my poetry today. It's April 10th, so this is poems I wrote from 2022 to 2025. Oh my god, I'm just a hot mess with today. Okay, so the first poem is based on the prompt Synergies. This is from 2022. Synergy. I want to be with someone who helps me build such a strong synergy. Both of us together are unconquerable and unstoppable. The combination of us will scare off people. I think I probably typed it, and I hope that was like a much better poem, honestly. Okay, let's move on to 2024. Let's see. Okay, so this comes from my book where I had those feminist quotes, and this feminist quote that inspired this poem is a quote by Alice Walker. So this was the quote. The most common way people I can't talk today. The most common way people give up their power is by thinking they don't have any. And that's Alice Walker, the writer and the poet. And this is the poem. I reclaim my indigeneity that was stolen and subjugated from my ancestors. And my family either laughs at me or looks at me in horror. Mommy says, pero con piel tan blanca, te vas a llamar indígena. And my sister rolls her eyes. Leave your Peruvian identity behind. Live the American dream in peace. But I feel the ancestors roar through me, come to my dreams and say that I'm their last hope. I dodge the opinions of my family and others and reclaim the salvaje that runs through my veins. Okay. I think I have indigenous blood in me, but I come from a culture where that's frowned upon, unfortunately. So I was born in Peru and I lived there till I was 5, and I don't want to say it's a caste system, but it's like I guess it is kind of a caste system, whatever, but it's like I guess the white supremacy thing where it's like if the whiter you are, the better you're thought of, which is really stupid. It's really lame. And I guess, yeah, those are two people walking in the back of me. I guess, I don't know, I had to talk about this when I write poetry, because it's like we missed out on so much for assimilating to the Europeans, and that's European is also in my blood. And it's so stupid, really, because there was just the wisdom and knowledge and culture and language that was lost, because we thought this really stupid way that the Europeans, the colonizers, were like better when they're not. I mean, I'm not saying indigenous is like better, but I think we're all equal, and we missed out on so much by this white supremacist way of thinking. Like, that's the stupidest thing to me. Anyways, but okay. Let me go on to my next poem, and this is called Get Used to the New Me. Get used to the new me. Miss the old me. I miss who I used to meet. Here, let me try them. Get used to the new me. Miss the old me. Miss who I used to be. I miss her too. I was nicer, easier to appease, able to settle down more quietly and with more ease. I was more of a lover than a fighter, but that person was completely miserable. She was nice, but not a good person. She had no sense of identity. She needed to go and die a violent death. So get used to the woman in front of you. A bad bitch with a big ass chip on her shoulder. A woman who doesn't hold back and comes through your screen savage and wild. I think I really like this poem. I am sure that there's like a better version of it in my Google Docs when I typed it out, but I really like how empowering that is. And today I don't feel empowered. So there's that. Okay. So we'll move on to more poems from 2024. Let's see what I will read next. Oh, this is the poem that I read yesterday. Hostage. Held you hostage as long as I could, afraid of growth, potential to be... Oh my God. Let me try this again. Hostage. I held you hostage as long as I could, afraid of growth, potential, and to be alone. Held you at gunpoint, afraid of the woman I could become. Okay. This one is untitled. A thief slipped. I can't talk today. A thief sleeps next to me, waiting for the right opportunity to possess me. Robs me of my sleep, my energy, my peace. Invades my dreams, disturbs the new life I'm trying to build. I try my best to control it, tame it, quell it. But some days it consumes me, and I turn into Mrs. Hyde, a villain, a harlequin, a mad woman with her hit list. This is a very honest poem about how it's hard to sometimes control that anger that I have. Okay. This one is called Games. Dangerous game I'm playing. Matches lit before my birthday. Amber's growing, fire burning. Either sabotage or growth will come from this. Still can't figure out what my intentions are. Will I get burned? Oof. Okay. This one I'm gonna read. There is nobody in this live, so I don't care. I'm probably not going to make this live stream public, but we'll see. Argentina. Hold my hand and take me to the land where Stormy drowned herself in the sea and Gardel sang his first tangos. Let's go where Borges grew up and where he wrote Emma Soons. We can get drunk and be the loud, annoying Americans who get into silly fights on the street over which beer tasted better. Take me to Argentina, darling, and go on a magical road trip where we find inspiration in the landscape and each other for our prose and poetry. I will not say what or who inspired that, but I'm just going to say that I am a very romantic person stuck in a very cynical world where this shit is just not possible. But it's nice to dream and have fantasies. Okay, this one is called Crucifix, because I'm very dramatic, and this actually goes with Easter that just happened. Crucifix. Like Jesus on the crucifix, martyred myself for others over and over again in hopes they'd love and accepted me. Never understood. These folks were never for me. Were only meant to be temporary characters in my life story. Like Jesus on the crucifix, I bled and died, and my rebirth was an epic one I courageously shared with the world. Liberated from my people-pleasing chains, from my scarcity mindset that I can only be loved if I bend like Gumby and martyr myself like Jesus. I really like this. This is, today I needed this because this feels very empowering and very honest. And I feel like it's a recurring thing in my life. Okay. This one is going to be very dark. Okay. tale as old as time. My nihilist son tells me, guess every country has been founded on rape and murder. And I love to contradict his grim view of the world, but honestly, he's not wrong. I'm not the most well-versed in history, but from the little wealth of knowledge I hold, there isn't a country that isn't founded without atrocity, some sin against humanity committed. Rape, murders, violence is embedded in our DNA since the first caveman had to kill a weaker caveman in competition for food or a mate. It's the way humans are made, and to this day, operate. I really like this one too. It's a very grim poem, but it's very honest about the world. This one is called Storm Clouds. Storm clouds in the distance, ominous destiny a brewing. 90% of life is free. 10% is something the gods come up with. Something the gods send to us in the form of people, catastrophes, obstacles, and experiences. Storm clouds in the distance, and I sit on the crossroads of another transformation. One that will propel me forward, move me in a way where my core is shook. My fool's journey only beginning, trying to evolve and flow with the current tide beginning to take me in. I like that one too. It's not a bad poem. I'm not gonna read the next one. It's even though it's so funny, because and damn, I'm missing more poems. Okay, so we're done with this book. The title of it is On a Wednesday I Sinned. I'm not gonna talk about who I wanted to sin with, but okay, so we're gonna move on to poems from 2025, and this should be interesting. These are poems that are very romantic and that now I hate. I hate it now because I'm like, oh, at the time they were corny and I was like, oh my God, I have a heart. And now I don't have a heart. So I'm like, I seriously today, I'm like, I wish this part of me did not exist. But, my child isn't 18 yet, so I can't really look into joining the convent. But when he's 18, if I still feel that way, I think it is my calling to go join the convent, honestly. Okay, let's go. NaPoWriMo Day 10. Are you the one who's going to make me eat my words of never again? The silver lining I never thought would happen? The poem I've been trying to write since the age of 13, but always have to stop writing mid-sentence? The man who be brave and foolish enough to want to become the last chapter of love? I write in my tomb of lust and love? Or will you become another Google Doc full of angry and grief-stricken poems I add to my folder of could-have-beens? We'll just say the latter happened. All right, disaster. Oh shit, I'm smiling at my phone and my heart is accelerating. Is this another crash upon me? Except this time, this one finds me interesting enough to keep communicating with me. This is a recipe for disaster, and I will just say, indeed, it was a recipe for disaster. Oh my God. This one is funny. These are those two that happen. The next ones are like my goddess complex. Okay. NaPoWriMo Day. This is the title though. Title 13. Waited and waited in earnest for my ugly duckling turn to swan story to happen. Hated everything about myself, from my almost C's that made me a large in baby tees, to my frizzy hair that couldn't be tamed in the tropical humidity, to that pudge of baby fat in my belly that made me self-conscious in swimsuits. But still, I tried to make myself appealing to boys, sneaking my older sister's clubbing clothes in my backpack. They were much cooler than the clothes in my closet. It made me look like a child. Always thinking if only I could get a boyfriend, perhaps finally like myself, perhaps I would finally be happy. That poem is good, and it needs work, but it strikes a chord in me because it's like I'm acknowledging this is what I've been thinking of since I was 13, and that's really sad to me. That's really sad to me. Anyways, I'm in a mood today. Oh my god. Like God, yeah, this one is Goddess complex. Jesus Christ. I am not gonna make this live stream public. I'm glad nobody's here. And God invented Patty. Am I in my bombshell era? And God invented Patty. Am I in my bombshell era, the one where I draw comparisons to Bridget Bardot and Salma Hayek, the one where I don't just feel pretty, but a new kind of beautiful, the one where for once in my life I'm actually grateful for every inch of my body and view any one of my flaws as character markers of a life well lived, well loved, despite a history of self-loathing and mental illness, the one where I feel an abundance of love for the day God invented Patty. Oh God. I like that poem though because it's empowering. It's like I felt that way, I guess, for that one day. Now I just feel nothing. Smitten. I'm trying to put my toe in the ocean and you're already swimming, wanting to discover the cosmos. Let me try this again. Smitten. I'm trying to put my toe in the ocean and you're already swimming, wanting to discover the cosmos of love, asking me if I have definitely locked the door on my baby making days while I'm trying to gently dip my toes in the ocean. And perhaps I should stop this before it turns into another disaster. But how can I when I'm already smitten? Yeah, I should have stopped that. God, I really am in a mood today. I'm glad nobody's on this live. This other one is just mean. I'm not going to read it. Here. Limit. This one's angry. Let's end with an angry poem because this is where I'm at. Limit. Reach the point where I've reached my limit, where disgust constantly sits at the pit of my stomach, where I'm about to become a ball of fiery rage that will explode. I don't know how much longer I can take, or when my emotional bandwidth will snap. Another mom taken, another dad disappeared, another student's dreams of a better life terminated, another child orphaned, and this isn't even the tip of the iceberg of this evil administration. Quickly, everything's being painted with a paintbrush of gray and black. Soon, the hammer will fall on all of us. As the country we once knew slips away from us. I can't think of anything more honest than to end this with. Anyways, thank you for watching or not, and that's fine. I'm glad. I'm not making this live. If I do, it's probably because I'm crazy. I'm having a crazy day. Okay, bye.